Take 16.
It's the chocolate milk and waffle show. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let's get it on. Who are these guys? It's my theme music. Every good hero should have some.
Welcome in, here on radio for radio, go tell a friend. Went to Rail in Georgia, bring them in. We got so many things to talk about, so let's begin. Putting the highlight on local life on Thursdays, 8 at night. Hope you feeling alright, cause tonight we gon' get you right, yeah, show you right. We gon' laugh, joke, talk, rinse, repeat. We gon' keep it real chill, plus get deep. Ain't no topic off limits, no knock off a gimmick. 10 times out of 9, you'll be fine when we finish. We get talented, hard to get artists to target that audience. Talk accomplishments of those who get no acknowledgement. The studio be hot in the summertime, studio be cold in the winter. And know the chair a bit dusty, it be a throne we enter. Have a seat with us, chocolate milk and waffles, come and eat with us. 2 whole hours, turn your speakers up. And before we get it started, just repeat it thus. It's old chocolate milk and waffle show. It's the chocolate milk and waffle show. We got George, we got Terrell, we got milk, that's chocolate. We got beautiful buttery waffles, just the way your mama used to make them.
Crazy show. That's what it is. Okay, whatever. I can't.
Hello, Internet. You are listening to the Chocolate Milk and Waffle Show on Radio F Radio.com. We apologize for the delay. We have been experiencing some technical difficulties.
Oh, these are warm and fuzzy.
Speaking of warm and fuzzy, I got the warm and fuzzies because I'm back with my partner after 2 weeks.
I'm back.
Missed you last week.
I missed me too.
Yeah, I bet you did.
Yeah.
It sucks when we lose ourselves, doesn't it?
Yes, indeed. I'm still mentally out of it, but I'm here physically.
And we are happy to have you. Welcome back. Homie. We are here with Gorilla Will and Norman of the Bottle Fusion Dance Company. Hello, gentlemen. Thank you for being on the show.
Yo, what is up?
What's going on?
How you feeling?
I feel so official. Oh my God.
Cool.
I have to say that real quick.
Yeah, we're gonna get into what these two gentlemen do. We're gonna get into some talk about dance, probably a little bit of talk about hip hop. You guys know what happens here on the Chocolate Milk and Waffle Show.
Whatever.
But before we get into all that, got a couple things going on in the area. A couple venue events we've got coming up. Every Monday we do our open mic from 7 to 11. It is the historic venue open mic, 10 years running, hosted by myself. Every Tuesday we do our performance workshop with Marlon Hargrave called Performance Playground. Second and fourth Wednesdays of the month I teach my writing workshops at the venue. Come and check us out. Next Wednesday I have a shop there going on. On the first Wednesday of every month, we hold our monthly poetry slams, the Verb Benders Poetry Slams, hosted by Katrina Hurricane Solar. On the third Friday of the month, we do our monthly comedy shows. On the last Saturday of this month, we are having our annual Halloween event, Things That Go Bump at the venue. We have a costume contest, tarot readings, a independent horror short film festival. Dita Delaney performing his one-man show, Bertha Doesn't Live Here, which if you haven't seen, typically he does that show by itself for a $15 to a $20 ticket. It's going to be part of the venue Halloween event, and the venue event is only $5. There's a costume contest. We'll be playing games, all kinds of fun stuff going on that night. And then, of course, the following night, we will have our monthly event Feature Sundays with some amazing features. And this Saturday at Sandler Center, Terrell.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that later.
As we have guests that are involved with the event. That would make sense.
But as far as I go, December 10th, I will be in Detroit. I will be hosting the red carpet at the Daily Venus Diva
Look at you.
Winter Gala Fashion Show. And December 11th, I will be in Port Huron.
He bought a monocle and a top hat.
That's right.
And he's been practicing rubbing his nails.
I literally have. I'm like, I don't know nothing about fashion. They're like, it's okay. Just talk to the people.
Coming down the runway, we have Terrell.
What you got on, Bonquisha?
Wearing a sexy Batman shirt with a printed-on utility
That's
belt.
right.
Notice as he turned the flap of the cape, ladies and gentlemen.
Ooh, you weren't ready. You weren't ready.
Work it, Terrell. Fucking work. I think that about covers everything we got going on locally. Got some
Yeah.
stuff coming up in November, but
Oh yeah, Cypher Tuesdays.
oh yeah, Cypher Tuesdays.
Cypher
every Tuesday.
Tuesdays.
Shout out to Cypher Tuesdays.
No covers.
Last Tuesdays.
Last Tuesdays.
The Word Art Show out in Town Center just changed its date to
Yeah.
Wednesdays. They had their first one last night as of their schedule change.
Yeah, and the Call, aka the poetry spot, the artistic spot that has a secret location.
Yeah, I don't even know if we're allowed to talk about it. Like,
Oh yeah.
you have to text a number to even
Yes.
find out where they're holding
like
it.
if you
it's like some
post.
speakeasy shit. Like, chill out.
Oh man, y'all have
Can
like
I
your
just
very-
come?
That's kind of
Can I just come?
They
It's
have,
dope
like, your
though.
very own
Well, no,
jackets,
it's
members
brilliant marketing because people want what they feel is exclusive.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
dope.
there was and this is a technique that a lot of clubs and bars use.
Mm-hmm.
They'll do fake openings, weeks to 2 weeks, even months out from their actual opening, where they intentionally just turn everybody away. They just
That's
they just
crazy.
turn people away,
Yeah.
and they create the buzz that this is the place we want to be at. People keep trying to get in. Eventually, they actually open floodgates.
That's kind of like
That's smart.
Merlin Manson actually started out. He put himself
Talk about a segue.
before anybody even heard him. He was just like put flyers up like he's gonna be it, like, oh, Merlin Manson's gonna be such and such, but nobody ever heard him. Like they never heard
I
this
didn't know
dude.
he did that.
And then when they finally heard him, they were like, oh, you suck. But your gimmick.
I don't think Marilyn Manson sucks.
No, I'm just saying when he first started, he literally had not played an instrument or anything yet.
Oh,
So he just
Oh.
had his gimmick.
You just gotta
That's
ride the wave,
funny.
fake it till you make
Yeah.
it.
Not everyone can be Guar.
yeah, because I don't know that he actually plays an instrument.
Shout out to Guar.
Shout out to Guar.
Shout out to
Richmond?
Guar.
Richmond.
Definitely.
My brother's a big Guar fan.
My grandmother is too. Shout out to my grandmother.
Large demographic.
Quite the demographic.
That's quite the demographic.
Yeah.
Got to find out about this Guar fellow.
He said fella.
Support local artists.
Yes, definitely. Speaking of supporting local artists, what's up, fellas?
What's
Chilling,
going
man.
on?
We've been told that this whole interview will be paused with some puffs up in there.
No, she didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're on the right track there.
Yeah.
Let's start off mellow, but it's going to turn up soon.
Before we get too far into conversation, if you guys at home listening would like to join the conversation here on Radio F Radio, the number to call in is 757-848-5920. Gentlemen, if you'd like to text that out to any of your friends, more than happy to call in and chit-chat, talk, give a shout out on the radio, talk their shit.
Yeah.
Again, that number is 757-848-5920.
Yo, what was funny? I was listening to 7 last night, and I wanted to call. I was like, "Dang it, what's the number?"
I say it so much I know about
Yeah,
art,
I'm like, and I'm just like, "Dude, you work there. You need to get." I was like, "Hey, I know this number."
You going
I would
through old
text,
Facebook
but,
posts
my
looking for
phone
the
is
number,
on.
weren't you?
Nah, actually, I didn't. I was like, I wonder why do I call in 7? I'm like, oh yeah, that's the same number, 757-848-5920. Hey, what's up, 7?
Shout out to Seven.
Yeah, I mean,
Started his show recently here on
Seven
Shout
Radio F
out.
Radio. Seven says on Wednesday
What?
nights,
it
11 to
was
midnight.
7.
Shout out.
7 and what? Oh, 7?
Oh.
You think it was 7?
You said it was 7.
Oh yeah, I did say it was 7.
Ooh.
Seven what?
Ooh-wee. Hey, listen, anybody that's going to call, when you call, you dropped. If you want to know what that's about, call and find out. But you dropped.
You're dropped.
Period.
Devin
D-R-O-P-P.
Spencer, if you're out there, call now.
You dropped. D-R-O-P-P-E-D.
757-848-5920 is the number to get dropped.
You trying to get dropped? Holla at me.
See, but it's weird because George has like the quiet storm voice.
Yeah,
So it's like, if you want to get dropped,
call right now.
somebody's gonna call.
Call right now.
That's funny.
Drop
I'm
silky.
like, does that involve pregnancy?
A little bit.
No, ICU's not on the show.
Oh, man. Called
She
out.
will, every time I listen to her do poetry, I got to go get a pregnancy test. 'Cause she just spits vermin.
We heard
spits
what,
vermin.
like 5 lines from her at
No, that
was it that one?
That was
Teardrop.
yeah.
That was Teardrop that I made stop.
It's a toss up for which one of the two.
I
of
was
them's
upset
worse,
with you for
though.
making her stop,
Wait,
too.
oh, ICU is
Petty Crocker, a.k.a.
Petty Crocker.
Iris Perkins.
oh yeah, no, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, what are we? You're right.
Who will also be having a show starting here on Radio Free Radio
Yes.
soon.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's a poetry show. I don't know. Like we got Seven Says on the station. I don't know if we need too much insanity after that.
Yeah. What is that?
It was a flash drive with the
Oh.
material for next week's show. Yeah.
Oh yeah, next week's show is gonna be very interesting, dude.
We have our well, hopefully it'll become annual. Our Halloween special here on CMW. We will have RTL Paranormal Investigation Team on the show. I'm super excited, but I'd like to encourage everybody while we're at it to have some. Maybe you have an experience where you experience something paranormal, or maybe you just have something artistic that you've done you'd like to share that involves something spooky and scary. But call in next week on that same the number next week will not be the number to get dropped.
No.
But you can get spooked, and that's
True that.
I remember when I
almost
got
just as
dropped.
good.
That was
Ooh,
spooky. Can I talk about that? I got
ha,
dropped.
Let's talk about
Yes,
you. Let's talk about you
getting
getting dropped.
Yeah, check this out. I got dropped. It was spooky.
Oh shit!
That was deep.
That's pretty much what it
Bruh.
was. Like, yo,
Oh my
getting dropped,
God.
like getting dropped, you're like in this space-time continuum where like nothing exists for like
Oh my
3 days.
God.
Like the Speed Force.
Like your body's here, but
Like the Speed Force.
like you literally like drop into the bottom of nothing.
You just see yourself like, hey, me.
You know.
Yeah,
It's an out of body
like
experience.
Doctor Strange. Yo, Doctor Strange got punched. He
Oh,
punched his
that.
soul outside of him and made him watch himself.
Yeah, he was looking at himself. He really took a long look at
got
himself.
punched. Hey, that's me.
Yeah, that's looking at your life right there. At your life.
That's taking a long hard
Yeah,
look.
yeah.
On the Halloween topic though, Daisy Pipes has a like murder, serial killery, spooky like podcast,
Oh,
or it's on SoundCloud now. But I forgot what the name of it was off top. But
Daisy Pipes.
That's
Hey,
like, what is
Daisy, call in.
Pipes?
Get dropped. Talk about your podcast.
Who's Daisy Pipes?
Daisy is Gary's fiance. Excuse me.
Oh, that's why the name's familiar.
Yes.
Okay.
D Pizzle.
It's like, why is the name
It is
sound
it's
familiar?
really good stuff.
Sweet.
Cool.
I'm super excited for next week's show. I
Okay.
might even come in costume.
So for
But let's get to what we actually need to get to, because I keep forgetting. Like, we usually have the luxury of just kind of BS in the first half
Who
hour of the
put
show.
the
But we started a little
disco
late
ball
this time.
on the ceiling. That what
Oh yeah,
the
man,
heck did
I
that
don't
come
know.
from?
I don't know, but it's dope.
That's the ocean light.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, while we're at it, Native Son is in the building chilling, people.
Oh,
Yo,
shout out to Native
yo.
Son.
Soul Trust Records.
Sarah Eileen is in the building too. Shout out to Sarah Eileen.
Shout
Hey guys, how you doing?
We are very much all over the place tonight, and that's okay. But we do have some stuff we need to get to talking about.
By the
So-
way, I was told Daisy's podcast is called see, Redhead Olivia Pope is listening. Unfolded Nightmares.
Yes,
And
That's
she's
it.
probably listening. Like, if y'all don't talk about Bilofusion,
we're getting there. We're getting there.
we're
We'll
definitely
get
getting there.
But she knows.
We
Like,
promise,
we're, like,
Marquita.
We're not on task.
Oh,
always.
no.
She's
Task.
fully aware.
What is that?
No task.
Me no speaker, no task.
Oh, I know.
No
I've been to
task.
Arts Out Loud. I knew what I was getting into on tonight's show. I was like, man, I'm odd man out in this particular situation.
Absolutely not.
I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
But you know what I mean when I say that. I mean, you guys definitely work together a
He's
lot
trying
more
to say he's
often
the same
than
one.
I participated in.
See, but we're trying to bring you in to work with us.
Yeah, and I'm excited about that. I am.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right,
I've been
so-
like practicing it in my head at work, and like I'm really excited. About
Hey, you
it.
gotta throw a couple. You gotta throw a couple moves in there, like
I might do that. We'll see.
however that looks.
Yeah,
However that looks.
Yeah, you know. we play off of you, you know.
So, why don't we tell the people who may not know who you are, who are you? Who is Gorilla Will and who is Norman,
Oh man.
a.k.a.
That means you gotta go
Bricks?
first.
Yeah, because you said my name first.
That's right.
Yes, that's
We
how
don't
it
wanna
goes.
Confuse the people. So just like elevator speech. Cool. My name is Gorilla William, aka the Satin Silverback, aka
Satin.
Oh wait, there's more. AKA Williamsburg Silverbackington III,
Williamsburg, Silverbackington the
AKA
third.
your mother's favorite exhibit at the zoo,
What?
AKA Tomahawk Jenkins.
I should have went first.
Yeah, you definitely should have went first. Don't give me you know what I'm gonna do with it. But
Pause.
yeah. I am the hip hop director at Biofusion. I am also a classically trained chef.
Oh,
Yes.
nice.
Boom.
And it's not just oodles and noodles.
I have an amazing girlfriend named Marcia Jackson.
Oh, that's how you pronounce
Sorry,
her
Miss
name?
Jackson.
Yeah, she's been called everything in the last week.
Ooh, Makia.
Micah.
Yeah,
Micah.
It's Mycia.
Mycia.
Her father's name is Michael Jackson.
Not
which is amazing.
MySpace.
Micah.
I went to school with a kid named Michael Jackson.
I feel sorry.
He was a
for
white
kids
kid.
named
Well, so was Michael Jackson. But
Later in
I'm
life.
about to say eventually.
Later in life.
He hit every
He
black,
transitioned.
Dominican, Puerto Rican.
yeah, he went through the colors. Bro. He went through. Like if you look at
He
like,
was the original Sammy
a
Sosa.
progression of Michael Jackson's career.
No.
Yo, what is with him and Little Kim, man? Like, I know we're getting
Yeah,
off the
these two.
subject,
We'll come back.
but yeah, we'll have to come back to that.
Lil Kim is
But-
straight went
Lil' Kim-
koala. She's just.
Lil' Kim's face is more important than William, of who William is. I think it's way more important.
So we have the hip hop director
Hip-hop director
of Fusion, Satin Silverback,
Yeah.
and to my left we have
It's your boy Norman Cunningham Jr., a.k.a. BRNX.
Bronx.
Brinks.
Brink.
said
Been
Bronx?
ready. Now he's
BRNX.
just like adding vowels in it. I mean, you know. I'm your crump dude. Violet Fusion. I am co-director of Tribe with my homeboy William and our homeboy X. Shout out to X out in Oregon.
Yeah.
What exactly
And-
is Tribe?
So Tribe is our dance crew. I don't want to call it a hip hop dance crew because we're
hold
pretty
on.
versatile.
You gotta make it sound more important.
Oh.
It is the senior company at
That's
Violet
right.
Fusion
Senior
Dance
company.
Studio.
What am I doing?
Yeah.
Marquita, I'm
We
sorry.
focus primarily on hip hop and or urban dance styles.
Yes. Established. Did you hear that, y'all? Don't come around here playing.
Yeah.
Don't come around here playing.
I feel like we've been around for like years. We've only been around since 2015.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Established 2015.
Established 2015, and we've done so much that I feel like we've been in
Yeah.
the game at least 17 years.
Well, it's not the quantity of the time; it's the quality of it.
Right
That's
on.
what you put into it.
Right.
And
We
put
don't
a lot
waste it.
in.
We don't waste it.
Pause.
We don't waste the time. That
No-
was
no
that definitely
gloop.
was a pause.
No glue.
No gleep.
No.
No, we don't waste the waste the
gleep.
gleep.
Don't
Nah,
waste
the gleeps
No
are
no gleepage.
incredibly important.
Gleep stays all the way in.
Ugh.
Double pause.
Does
I'm
it
quiet. I'm quiet.
So earlier you made a distinction between crump and hip hop. For
Yes.
those people at home maybe listening who don't understand the difference between the two.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll talk about that. Crump is its own genre. So we work really close with hip hop, but we are not hip hop, and the reason being is the way we classify it is because we have our own music, we have our own style of clothes, we have our own dance scene. We pretty much have our own elements, if you will, and because of the fact that it sounds like hip hop, because of the fact that it is inspired by hip hop, it comes from like the same type of origins that hip hop came from. Like hip hop and crump come from the same place. They just have different essences
Right.
to them, and so we're our own genre. We don't
Both cousins of jazz and blues.
Yeah.
And R&B.
yeah. So
And that, which is I asked you to answer that question because an argument that we have here on the show all the time is we always end up on the discussion of mumble rap, and I always make the analogy that I don't consider that rap.
Right.
Because by definition, that's not how you rap, blah, 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 blah. But I always say that crump creates its distinction from hip hop and classifies itself as its own culture.
Yeah.
It recognizes that it came from hip hop, just like hip hop recognizes that it came from blues and jazz and R&B.
Right.
But it is not blues, jazz, or R&B.
Right on.
But mumble rap doesn't want to do that. They want to
It's
say
mumble music.
mumble music, right? They want to F all that other stuff. This is what rap is now, without giving any kind of homage or any kind of tip of the hat to where it even came from, and it's disrespectful.
That's kind of, I'm not gonna say our fault because I'm like right under that generational gap, but a lot of OGs in the generation like right before mine, they didn't pass the game down, like, you know what I'm saying, like, so the culture wasn't passed down to anybody. So now they have a bunch of kids who are like, we're doing it this way and this is our way. Because they haven't been led in a certain direction by anybody else.
But see, this is my thing. When you say pass the culture down,
Right.
you have to even look how hip hop in its infancy started out. It technically wasn't passed down; it was learned. It was like going from the boroughs of New York into D.C. and Chicago. They already had things that were so similar. Just like, okay, good example. So many people think go-go was birthed from hip-hop for some reason. I don't know how they think that.
I know why.
Why
Because
you
they
think
sound
that?
similar?
Because it is a loud music art form that was from the hood, made by brown people.
There you go. And that goes back to those similarities
Right.
that are so. It's almost like tribal transitions. Like you have so many tribes in Africa that weren't connected but did the exact same thing.
Right on.
And it was like almost like, as they say, like in the spirit, the universe is connected. You know, and I feel like because this generation, it wasn't that it wasn't passed to them; they didn't take time to learn it. It's like,
yeah, I get that.
I can respect
Like I came into hip hop like say late early 90s. This is around the time I became of age where I could start listening to what I wanted to listen to, not just what my parents were playing in the car when we were riding around.
Right.
And first tape I ever bought myself was Das Effect's Dead Serious.
Tight.
The very first cassette at
Wow.
that, you know what I mean?
Right.
But from there I was like, I took it upon myself to learn BDP, Africa Bambaataa, Cool Herc. So there's a certain responsibility if you're going to enter any particular art form. You would think you would automatically want to know where that came from and what even made it so that you could be performing this artwork. But to come out on an interview and say, I don't have to make sense. I don't have to write a Hot 16 anymore. If I want to write a song that the entire thing is yah and the beat's hot, I can do that. And it's like for a music that was birthed out of a place, out of a community where there was so much social injustice and it was created to speak out against those things, to have it reduced now, not 30, 40 years later, to I get done with a panda and a hand, it's disturbing to me.
I could tell you this. I know a big contributor to that is, social media and how easily you can
Absolutely.
get like quote unquote put on from social
Yeah.
media. Like
You don't need labels no more.
Yeah,
You just-
like you don't need labels. And back in the day, in order for you to actually get put on, you had to get played. It funneled through like your DJs, like your radio heads that would play music that they
the
thought
DJ
was
was
good.
the ultimate decision
Yeah,
maker.
yeah.
Ultimately,
Nowadays, that ain't the case.
No.
You
And
know what I mean,
also-
anybody can just get on the internet and pull up anything, and you can put anything on the internet. And
Yeah.
if it gets enough hits, or if some crazy executive of some company that doesn't know anything about hip hop likes it, then you can get put
Right.
on from that, and then you kind of like build like momentum from that.
And
So
also, all back in, out from me personally, early '90s, all the dope stuff was on the radio.
right?
So you were getting variety. You were getting everything. So I feel like that made it like so 70s, 80s too, from what I've learned from, my studies or whatever. All music was played on certain stations. They had black stations, they had white stations, but then they had some stations that played everything. Now it's like they're getting fed this certain kind of music.
Yeah.
So unless like you're going out and listening to different kind of music that your parents or that your grandparents or like if you play an instrument or if you do anything of that nature, then I feel like your musical tastes change because you backtrack, you study. Like my whole thing going back into learning music, like funk or soul or whatever, all came from dancing or learning samples. That's where my hunger for it came from. Right. So a lot of these cats, they're getting fed stuff on the radio, and program directors and everybody else is putting all this trash on the radio for so many years. Like all these cats are like under the age of 20.
Yeah,
True.
It's true.
You know what I'm saying? So they caught like the worst of it. Like they caught like the worst, like the most like funneled, like take this,
Watered
take this,
down,
take this.
right.
Right. So and then it became all about money.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Right.
out of that, they're like, and then social media. So it's like, yo, as long as people move to it, then I can get away with it.
I mean, everybody that gets put in a culture has to go through a time period where, like, you got to get used to what the culture demands of you. Like you have your own thought process. It's like I heard Gucci Mane say this once. He said you gotta play the game to change the game. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta learn how to play before you change it. And what ends up happening with these young artists is that they get put in this big, huge spotlight before they even really learn how to play the game or they learn how to respect the game. And so now they get asked all these questions about, like, I know I heard one of them was like, Biggie was whack, Tupac was whack, and things like that.
That
And
was
Kodak Black.
yeah, Kodak Black.
yeah, it's just like,
He got
okay.
locked up like right after.
I mean,
Free
Not
Kodak
close
Black.
enough.
Karma.
yeah,
Free
well,
Kodak
yeah,
Black.
karma. But either way, like, like you get put in the spotlight to where you have to answer these questions about something that you know nothing about, because honestly, you put some blah, 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 blah on the internet and someone liked it, and so
ultimately, it's the audience who's at fault. Because if we weren't
Big,
supporting
huge
it
reason.
by listening,
big
Right.
huge reason,
it wouldn't be successful.
a big huge reason.
There's a reason people keep doing it. They're generating
Mainstream media
income.
Mainstream media has a grip
Yeah.
on the audience, and so what happens is they control what you like, they control what you see, not necessarily what you like.
And what's funny is people think that they're liking it just because they want to like it,
Right?
and it's like they don't get it.
Have no clue.
And then there's also the prison industrial complex.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
Taking
Right.
it there. Take it there.
It's one of those things where, and Native Son is here, so if I say something wrong, he'll stop me. So like, all of my big homies. So like, Native Son, Fats, all of them were there when there was like that massive change in hip hop. So you had Native Tongues, you had the conscious movement going on, and then out of nowhere came NWA, who came to the game with, what was it, Express Yourself first?
No,
And-
Express Yourself wasn't first.
But they came in under the same guise as, for people, feel good music, against police brutality, and then made the turn to straight gangster rap, which kind of took people to, it kind of started like that war between police. Well, it didn't start it, but
Yeah. It brought it into a
Capitalized on it.
forefront.
Accentuated.
right.
It was one like that was so way before social media that music at that point in our history was our social media. That was the way that these other perspectives were being voiced because
Exactly.
the media wasn't. So our artists had to be that voice.
But what it was coming down to was, like, record companies were having artists make music to get them locked up to fund this whole, like, prison, like, money machine that they had going. So they're building prisons to, because they're for-profit prisons. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're making money off of all these buildings. So if you dumb down the masses with...
So you're saying the music was created intentionally to instigate the actions that would create
Yes.
arrests.
Yes.
I see.
Using mainstream
And
media
yeah.
to make money.
And now they just want people dumb.
Anytime anyone is profiting off of prison, there's something very, very wrong
Right.
with that picture, because what happens when you have a situation where people aren't doing stuff that's prison worthy? You start creating situations where you're throwing them in jail for nothing,
Right.
which is why a lot of states don't want to legalize marijuana.
They had a dude make a song about cutting cocaine and selling it on the radio.
Yep.
Your price is way too high.
Oh yeah.
Cut it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's catchy.
Yeah,
And
but it's a how-to.
I'm in
Yeah.
love with the cocoa.
Yep.
yep.
And
And
it's
these are all like crazes.
And it's like it's blatant. It's directly in your face. Like,
Yeah.
So it's like, I can't say any profanity in the radio, but I can tell you how to cook,
Yep.
cut, and sell cocaine,
Yeah.
and they're not going to censor.
Talk about it.
Mm.
New age IT.
And so, and so I feel like that kind of garnered this music. So now they don't want people to be able to think for themselves. They don't want free thinkers. They don't want
Right.
revolution. So they give them, here, just go take
Go.
your pills and drink your lean and
Right.
do that over there.
Panda.
Right.
Panda.
Panda. Why
No,
that
Pander.
Pander. Now, like,
Yeah. Exactly.
designer, yo, God bless him, yo, because
No.
my man looks like he's having so much fun.
He's
Like,
he's living the life right now.
He's having the time of his life, but he might be autistic.
You know what? I had this conversation with someone else. I've watched a handful of interviews because I genuinely I don't just go and say this mumble rap stuff is garbage. I genuinely try. On the way here, we tried 2 new artists that neither of us had ever really listened to before. We listened to 3 to 4 tracks of each artist. Can't find something we like.
Right.
Most of it couldn't really comprehend in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
So I do try. So I say all that to say I've looked at him in a few interviews, and I genuinely think that he very well could be a high functioning form of autistic.
Yes.
Because they'll ask him a question and he'll just be like, yeah. It's like,
I'm like, there's
There's something going on, man.
Yeah.
Something going on.
Something's
Yeah.
not right.
Something's happening.
but he's energetic. He puts on a good show.
Right. I'm like, yo, I was like,
And they throw him over some of the dopest beats that they can possibly find.
Period.
So there it is. That's the formula.
and I'm not gonna hate on him because I mean I don't listen to him, but I'm like, yo, dude, like
As an
if
MC,
you're-
I feel like I have a right. I hate on him.
No, absolutely.
I hate on him.
Yo, by all means. If you're an MC, you have that license. Like, for me personally, I'm like, yo, if you having that much fun, like, if you like, I saw him perform.
Yeah.
Something, he was enjoying himself so much.
I'll give you that.
I'm like, I can't be mad at that. But at the same time, am I gonna let any of my people listen to it? Absolutely not.
Right.
You're not dancing to it around me? No. Cut it
Okay.
off.
Speaking of that,
Cut
so
it down.
with music changing so much, how does that affect the dance? And how has dance changed with the change in hip hop?
So arts that surround music kind of go where the music go. To me, this music has been simplified. So if you look around, dance has been simplified.
big time.
And so like now you see all these crazy 2-steps and jazz squares with a little fist pump on the top of it.
Yeah, and everybody like, yo, they killed
And
it.
it's like, yo, let's make this the new viral thing.
They do be funky.
And so, you got people like me who, if I hear a song that I like, I'm tearing you up. I don't care. I'll tear your grandma up. I'll tell your mom. I don't care. Pause.
Yeah, Paul.
Double
I'll
pause.
tell
3
your
pause.
grandma,
Listen.
With the
Bad-
gleep.
Anybody can
Bad
get it.
grandma jam.
Anybody can get it.
With the gleep.
Rest
with
in
the
peace,
gleep.
Sean P.
I'm telling you, gleep everywhere. When I'm done, gleep everywhere. So people like me,
Your gleepy ass grandma.
Paul.
grandma got gleeped up the night you sit down and you think about that.
I gleaned up on your grandma. Yo, how
You
feel?
take that home with you.
Yo, they just said it's over there like, what the
Go clean the gleep off your grandma.
He just agreed to be on a show in November. I bet he's rethinking it now. Yeah, look, fellas, about that show.
I will be here for that.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not missing that.
We gotta
That'll
make-
be fun,
Make
man.
fats come too.
Yeah. And also,
Speaking of not to mix stuff up, but speaking of that camp, Novocaine is featuring on Feature Sundays as a visual artist.
Oh, I noticed.
She'll be displaying her jewelry.
I met narrator too.
Oh, you have narrators, dope. The lineup is bananas, like not for nothing, but
Do it.
yeah. Word, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
gonna be a dope.
I saw the
Him,
lineup and I was
Hurricane, like 3 or 4 musical acts. It's gonna be bananas.
Hurricane is a problem.
She's actually the coordinator and the host of those slams we've been doing. She's been doing great.
Sweet
Been doing great.
Christmas.
Yes.
Yeah, she's crazy.
Yeah.
And like she looks like really sweet, but then like she'll like
Exactly.
pull your kidney out,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like through your nose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Kidney
With her baby fist.
She has one poem that starts, "Listen, heifer, not today."
Oh.
I love that piece. It's about this chick at her job.
Ladies
She
be
just-
like, yes.
goes the hell
Talk
off.
about it. Talk about it.
back to dancing.
Yeah,
Back to
about-
dancing.
The simplification of
The
dancing.
simplification, right? So the music that was being made 70s, 80s, 90s. 70s, you had the Bus Stop, the Funky Penguin, all that jazz, right? They all had dances to go with them. But there was also a dance movement going on that made you want to be creative, right? So in the 70s, you had locking, the robot, popping. 80s, breaking. Breaking is the hip hop dance. So that was the first, like it was the dance created for this style of music. Right. So, and that made you want to be creative. A little further down the line, you have, a little after that, prior to that, during that, house music, house dance came about. A little further up, then you have like your regional dances. So you got beating your feet when Go came around. You had jitting from Chicago, or footwork from Chicago, jitting from Detroit, juking from Memphis, and their dance was catered to the music and the sound and the culture of what was going on where they were. Right. Now the music's so simple that there's no major dance style coming out of all that.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the dubstep thing, they tried to say, oh, there's a new dance and it's animating and it's dubstep dance, and it was just popping to fast.
Yeah,
music.
that's all it was. Yeah.
That's all it was. So there's no new dances being created, like, and there's not a lot of music that comes out that really makes you want to dance any of the old styles because there's no feeling. Like there's something about hearing somebody play a live instrument over a track that makes you go off, that makes you dance like way harder because that dude's putting his heart and soul into that record and it got recorded.
Right.
So you listen to James Brown or you listening to anybody and there's a conga break and the dude's going wild, yo. You want to dance.
So you feel there's a lack of inspiration in the music?
Yeah.
I think the inspiration is misguided. I really think that music and dance are in like this really dangerous like loop.
Yeah.
You know, where the music is made, they make music because they're trying to think of how people are going to dance to it. And then dancers are like, I'm dancing to this because this music it sounds like this, right? So what happens is that everybody's doing stuff in anticipation of the other person and no one's just doing it. Whereas when we were creating dances, like even when Crump was created, which was created in the early 2000s, like it was created based upon something that I was going through, not something that I'm anticipating you to do. So like until we get out of that loop mainstream, now you still got your underground stuff. Like you still got stuff happening outside of the mainstream. And so the underground and kind of like the off mainstream type of realm is still strong. But in mainstream, it's like, I'm only doing this because I think you like it. And I'm only doing this because I think you like it.
I'm not gonna front. Bruno Mars is on a roll.
I think I'm the only person on the planet that doesn't like him.
And
I liked his
understandable.
first album.
Not liking him is completely understandable, but he's bringing a sound back. Like he's bringing back like the 80s like boogie funk, like Slave, like Fatback. Like
maybe that's why I don't like him.
Because he's doing it.
Yeah.
Did that sound not appeal to you? When
yes,
it was?
that sound. I love
Talk
that sound.
about it.
But Terrell was there.
Yeah, I was there.
Okay.
So that might be
So
why.
that
makes
That's
sense.
probably why everybody keeps suing him too.
So does it come off? As like
be a good
not
reason.
authentic? Does it come off as like not authentic?
Yeah. In all honesty, yeah.
Okay.
If this is me, and it's the same reason why I don't get why people get so excited about Kirk Franklin.
All my niggas say.
All my niggas say.
If every song you sing makes me think of somebody else's song, then I'm not really feeling you. You're messing with my memories. You're not giving me you.
Right.
So I can't get with that. Maybe
True.
that might be it.
Man, that's
just
a good
can't.
way to look at it.
Yeah.
That's why I be in Crump. I don't be knowing that. I don't be knowing nothing about anything else.
And which is crazy because I grew up listening to go-go and reggae, and all they do is take everybody else's stuff.
But that's their culture. Though.
Yeah, that's the culture.
That's their culture. Like
yeah.
Like if a dude gets on the same beat that was made for you in Jamaica, you get on the rhythm, right? And you rip. 20 dudes will be on the same rhythm, and all of them will eat off the same track.
Yep.
You do it here, yo, you might get shot. Or not
Yeah.
recently.
No, you gonna get sued.
Yeah, it's like
You said sued.
Or you gonna put a video on YouTube but then have no sound on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yo, like it's biting in our culture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
in hip hop, it's like a big no.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely not.
But hip hop, unlike a lot of other forms of music, was specifically designed to express that personal experience.
Right.
So since so much of it is based off that MC's personal experience, it comes off as non-authentic when you have somebody like a Drake that has writers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I don't consider Drake a rapper. He's a pop artist, and I'm not knocking his hustle. You know what I mean? A lot of artists have writers, but don't call yourself an MC if you're going to do that.
I think Joe Budden made a really good point. Joe Budden made the greatest point. He pretty much said, he was like, people think that I care. He's like, I don't. He was like, I hope Drake has the greatest career he could possibly have. He's like, I hope he does really well. But rap well when you do it. He said, that's all I care about. He said, if you're going to come at me. That's perfectly fine. But be nice.
Right.
Or I'm going to eat you alive. Because this is the culture that I grew up in. And it's disrespectful for you to try to eat and not carry that.
Yeah. It's like the forewarning don't come so par. because you automatically know you're going to get dealt with.
I mean, ignorance is not always bliss.
No.
No.
You know, and so like Crump is going through the exact same thing right now, where it's just like people are coming from what they think it is or their perception of it, and not necessarily learning what it's about.
Yeah.
Joe Budden is saying the same thing. We got a lot of we got this wave of people that
Like that school of third grade white kids choir that was singing "Crank That Superman."
I have not seen that.
You crank that Superman.
ruined it.
They
Ruined.
I was like, I mean, it wasn't good to begin with, but I'm just saying. I mean, it wasn't good to begin with, and then chose that and made it worse.
Before they started making noises out their mouth on the video, I was really excited.
I have not seen
But it's just
it,
it's a good example of people that don't understand a culture or an aspect of a culture in this particular instance, the music of it, and attempting to perform it.
Yeah.
So you're saying you find a lot of that in Crump dance?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
So how do you differentiate hip hop from Crump, sonically and in dance?
That's a very good question. So, there's so many different angles to attack this from. I'll start with the dance part of it.
All right.
The foundation of Crump really is much different than a lot of your hip hop styles. And music wise, our BPMs kind of stick to a specific
Range.
Yeah, it's more or less like your mid range BPM. But like the foundation, like your stomp, chest pop, jab, arm swing, like the way that you have to execute that is like it resembles anger, like pure anger. No peace. I don't really care for you.
I would describe it as primal almost.
Very
Like
Yeah.
raw. Like
it's supposed to be raw. It's supposed to be street. It's supposed to be like rugged. Like you're supposed to be able to inflict, like you're supposed to be able to conjure fear in your opponent or anybody else that may be thinking about testing you. And you know, a lot of the dance styles in hip hop didn't necessarily start off with like that pure rage and aggression. Of course, Crump has evolved. We've been around for about 16, maybe 17 years now. And so now technique is a lot more involved, and even the way that this is dance I'm still talking about. Even the way that we execute our technique is a little bit different. The way we hit, the way we move, the way we change levels, how we come up with our concepts, what they're supposed to say, how they're supposed to do it. All of that stuff it comes from a different place, and it's executed differently. Like if I were to take a Crump combo and execute it the way that I would know a popper to do it, it would look weird. It would look very weird, right?
That's why my Crump looks weird.
No, see, don't even do that. Stop. Don't beat yourself up.
That's why it looks weird.
See, you're gleeping yourself. We don't need that.
No self-gleepage.
No self-gleepage.
This is a
Can't do
non-self-gleepage
that.
zone.
We don't have enough towels for that.
And then for the music, like the music just comes from, like the music once again is the speed of your music for Crump stays kind of like your mid, even some like low BPM range, right? Like it's slower.
It was like 60, 70.
Something
Oh,
like
that's
that.
really slow.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like
Because like Jay Dilla like to stay between 96 and 98. Damn.
yeah, that's a little
really
quick. That's a little quick
Is
for
it?
us, right?
Okay.
No, normally, but like once again, that's evolving. So like you're starting to get people that are starting to rap over top of this, music. We still have 75 to 80% of our music is still instrumental, but you have those artists like right now. Tie Dyes and Lil Tie Dyes are like killing the Crump rap game right now, like crushing it. And so you'll hear them like rapping over top of it, and it sounds straight up like a hip hop type of song, like it has that hip hop feel. And so the BPMs are starting to climb up for Crump, but you know, for the most part, when we first started, it was fast. it was actually pretty fast. But as we really started to dive into how do we break down the essence, how do we get more control of the essence of Crump, you started to see it go down. So it just comes from its own place. The origin of Crump over on the West Coast, and you know where it originated with Tie Dyes and Miho, and even the Jay Smooth was with them when they created it, believe it or not, and he was the one that kind of gave him an outside perspective of how it's supposed to look. But like where it came from pure like, I'm in bondage, I need to get out of this bondage. Like,
Can I pause that?
Sure.
yeah, sure.
Pause.
Out of bondage. Pause. And so like one of the lines that Tadai says in one of his songs, he says, "Dang is the model for a wildin'. Pain is the model is the bottle for a wildin'." So like if you wildin' out, it comes from pain. You releasing that pain. That's where Tadai gets it from. He talks about it all the time in all of his songs. And so, you know, other dance styles don't really
Convey that.
they don't convey pain as consistently as we do.
Yeah.
Right.
Now that was something I did notice, because from being around you, I began to pay more attention to crump, and I began to see that I can see the difference between a dancer going through what they think are crump motions versus a person coming from their emotions.
Right.
How does that make you feel when you're battling somebody who's just going through motions, but you're putting your emotions into it?
I get hungry. I get very hungry.
It's time to eat.
And it's time to eat. I don't allow myself to stay hungry for long. A lot of people will get disrespected by that and get pissed off by it. I actually don't, because I'm not the type of person that like tries to react to what's going on around me. I'm about to teach you something and move it forward. That's really what it's going to be, right? And so when you crump, if you're battling somebody in crump, your aim is to kill them. When you lose a battle, you're considered killed off. Like you got killed, you got murdered, you got whatever, right? So if you are going through the motions and I really live this, it's literally like you're shooting rubber bullets at me with a bulletproof vest on. You cannot kill me. So that's why I'm like, oh, I got to eat. It's time to eat. And I know that I'm about to kill you. And I'm going to do whatever I got to do to make sure you die. But the defibrillator is there. I'm going to resurrect you. And if you want to learn, I'll teach you. If not, I will continue to resurrect you and kill you and resurrect you and kill you and resurrect you and kill you. And people call me petty. Like they say, Norman, you're a role model. I don't give a damn. I'm going to kill you. You shouldn't have came. You shouldn't have brought your family.
Teach the kids.
And I'm about to drink your soda.
They said, "Ed, drink this."
I'm gonna drink your
Have
soda.
a
You wildin'.
swig of your tasty beverage.
You is wildin'. You're not getting it back. Your soda mine now, punk.
We know how Norman feels when it comes to crump.
Yeah.
Well, you've been on the hip hop scene, dance scene around how long?
About, I'll say since 2004. So about 12 years.
So 12 years. Yeah. And what actually drew you to the hip hop scene?
First off, I didn't start listening to hip hop until I turned 16.
Okay.
Nobody knows the story, really, so I'll go into it.
And now we're going to hear it for the first time.
Exclusive, y'all.
CMW exclusive.
So, I was born and raised in New York. The people who bullied me the most in school listened to hip hop. So I didn't want anything to do with it.
Huh.
So
it's an interesting association you made.
Right.
Okay.
So they were listening to hip hop loud, and I'm like, yo, nah, I'm not feeling it. I was in marching band, of course, because you're getting picked on 9 times out of 10 you're in marching band. I was in marching band, and I was a percussionist, and so all the percussionists that I was on with were in punk bands, ska bands, metal bands. So they're all like really, really nasty, and so they're giving me drummers to listen to, and so that was what I was listening to. I was listening to punk, ska, and then of course my mom listened to blues and soul, and my dad was a funk head. So I had that.
Okay.
And then, so I got to hip hop when I was like 16. Started kind of getting into the culture because I worked at Outback Steakhouse in Kempsville. And there's a b-boy crew from around here called HIK, the Hidden Injuries crew. Guy's name, I went to school with a guy named Raymundo who worked at Outback with me. We worked at Outback together. And it feels like the entire crew worked at that Outback. So all their heavy hitters, Rush Limbaugh.
Rush Limbaugh, what?
No, do you know? Are you familiar with the Flying Ginsu Brothers?
Yes.
A lot of them were b-boys.
Oh,
and
no
worked
kidding.
and worked at.
Okay.
So that's who I was hanging out with on a regular basis. So I started going to jams with them and kind of just hanging out with them. And we were watching Who Can Roast the Most 5. It's a b-boy battle. That was on VHS, which is really great. And I looked at them, and they're all like smaller Filipino cats. So I'm like, I'm not finna spin on my neck for nobody. I can kick it. We'll be friends. You know, I'll support. And I saw Bionic Man in a popping battle. I'm like, okay, I can't spin on my neck, but that looks doable. I can kind of do that. So from that point forward is when I kind of started moving forward through there. Started training, traveled to New York a few times, came back, met some cats, was going to a lot of shows at Relative Theory when it was open. And that's where I met Fats and O, or I met Junipus, the whole collective. And they were kind of like, hey, look, you know, like, y'all are tight. Like, we see all the events. Like, you know, we feel like you should come join us at the Zulu Nation. And that's kind of how that happened. And then that's when my journey actually started. That's when I started studying the art form and going back and studying music and important people and then eventually educating after that.
Yeah.
So how did you come to Fusion?
I got voluntold to work there.
Yeah.
As we all do.
So I had a lot of friends who knew who Marquita was. If you live in Virginia Beach, you know who Marquita is.
Who? Never heard of her.
Yeah, right. But it all depends for what reason. Like,
she gonna
I
get
live
you.
in Suffolk, excuse.
Like my friend was like a salsa dancer, and she knew Marquita. She's like, she's so amazing. She's the greatest. She was like the
The
holy
look on
grail.
his face.
Yeah. If you're watching,
Virgin
yeah.
tears.
She's like, if I could just touch the hem of her garments. So, you know, and that was that. And I think we did a Halloween dance competition with my old team at Town Center, and that's when I formally met her. And I'm like, okay, cool. Well, she's nice. So she sent me a message on Facebook, and she was like, hi, you know, I'm Marquita Bianca. You know, I have a studio.
He did the hi in Marquita voice. Hi.
Hi, I'm Marquita Bianca.
Hi.
Yeah. And I have a studio called By the Fusion. We're looking for a hip-hop teacher. And at the time, I had stopped teaching because I was kind of over the whole thing. Like, I was throwing events, and the love really wasn't there. And I was teaching at, I think, 2 studios at the time, and it was like, it was empty. Like, I was doing it for money, essentially. And I was like, so I made like this pact, like, I'm not going to teach unless it's for charity or for something I actually believe in. So I told her, I was like, nah, I'm cool. But my little brother is a breaking instructor. You know, I'm sure he'd love to, you know. So she was like, cool, we'll set up a meeting. So of course I go to the meeting with my brother. We have the meeting. She sets him up, and she looks at me and goes, "So twice a month?" And I'm like, "Nah, like we're not doing this." And she's like, "Once a month." I'm like, "I don't think you understand what I just said. Like, no, we're good." She's like, "1 workshop a month," and I was like, "1." She's like, "1 workshop, cool. 1 workshop a month." So the first week we were supposed to do it, my brother got like terribly sick. He's like, "Yo, man, I can't do it, yo. I need you to go in." I go in.
Destiny.
I teach his class. I teach my class. This goes on, and he has 3 kids, 3, 4, and 6.
You.
Yeah.
Wow.
He said shooter.
All caps does not miss. Shout out to all caps.
That's why he's all caps.
So
Gleep all
Gleep.
over the place.
Gleep.
So that went on, and
Gleepettes.
he called me. He's like, "Yo, man, like, at the time they were like young. Like he had 2 brand new ones. He was like, I can't. Like, this is too much." So I was like, "Well, I guess I'll cover your classes." So then I was teaching every Saturday. From that moment forward, I was locked in. There was no getting past it. And then at my 1-year anniversary, she was like, "I told you." Thanks so much. And then she asked me to be the director of the hip hop department and said, "Do what you want. Should hire who you want, bring whatever programming you want." And from that moment forward, we kind of took off. And
She understands an artist's need to be able to be free with what they want to do.
Yeah.
If there's no passion in it, it's really no point to it.
right.
So how about you, Norman?
Yeah, I
What's
was
your
about to say the same thing.
coming to Bila Fusion
Yeah.
story?
Ah man, so speaking of, you know how Will said he was voluntold by Marquita
Yeah.
and he all gripes about it. I was voluntold by him to come out here.
I learned from the base.
So we were at another studio that shall not be named, and
I hope they all got Samsung Galaxy 7s.
or at least one.
Wow.
Of them. At least one of them. Oh, you know the hate is real. It's beef. They know that. Either way, we were at that studio and like we would come across Will periodically.
We.
Oh, why am I doing this? She's gonna kill me. My wife, the illustrious Rotita Cunningham. She is a classical teacher, and she is way better than me at this stuff, at this dance stuff. So I'm just trying to keep up. And of course we have a little young one, Rain.
The almighty rain, yo.
Almighty Rain.
The almighty rain.
The
Versus
weather.
Rain.
That's right.
The weather.
The boo to my Sully.
And shameless plug, please be there on Saturday because Rain's gonna be doing her first solo.
Yo, rain gonna kill it, yo.
She's about to
yeah.
crush.
Rain's being sponsored by
How old's your daughter?
Out.
She just turned 3.
Oh, it's gonna be so cute.
This is gonna be great.
Son, I saw the picture of Rain stretching. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
yo.
she listen. Let me tell you. Hold on. A little commercial break about Rain here. This little girl, we will be laying in the bed, and she will get up, crawl into our bed in the morning, and have a full stretch. She will stretch everything right there. Count it: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stretch the next thing. If she needs help, mommy help, daddy help. Then she gets up and starts doing bar exercises.
I've witnessed.
She is dedicated.
Wow.
I wish I had the amount of dedication that she has. Either way, when I say we, I'm meaning Rotita and myself.
Okay.
We were teaching at another studio. We did quite well there, but they couldn't realize what we were worth. So of course they picked a reason to ostracize us from them, which is cool. And then not even 2 weeks later?
No, absolutely not.
Not even 2 weeks later, we're standing in Bila Fusion because Will told us that it was going to happen. And who started teaching first? She did, I believe.
You.
I started teaching crump classes first.
And then Rose started teaching everything else.
And then and then we started talking to Ro Marquita doing their thing, and there was a need for classical dance at Bila, and so Ro just took over all of that.
Wow.
She's a director of 2 teams, and competition. They've already been in competition, even against our old studio, which was pleasant to see. They were surprised. And so I was just over here just gleeping all over.
I bet all this gleep is just
Gleep. You could just have have this gleep. Go look it up. You don't even know. You don't even know where it is. It's just like
Yeah, he said drink it in.
Drink it in.
But
The Gleep of Jericho.
and then it's been history since then. And one thing, I mean, once again, I brag about the freedom. Marquita is like, listen, what do you want to do? Is that it? Like, that's all you want to do? And I'm like, no. She's like, well, then why? Why are we not doing it then?
Yeah.
So like, I really appreciate it because the one thing that Ro and I have been to many, many different studios, and one thing that would have us like, all right, well, we're done here, is because the studio tries to contain the greatness that we have together. You can't contain that. You gotta let that flow. You gotta let that go. And so Marquita's like, look, just tell me when and where.
Yeah.
And I'll make sure I have some keys ready for you, And so, shouts out to Marquita for that.
You know what I mean? The redhead Olivia Pope.
Olivia Pope.
She's like the wolf from Pulp Fiction. Like she fixes everything.
Yeah. So speaking on Rain's performance on Saturday, let's talk more about that event.
Yeah.
All right, what's going on Saturday?
You're going to meet the new IT department.
I know that's right.
I'm turned, or what was it?
Ignorant technicians.
I'm turned ignorant technicians department. This is the new age IT. Listen, y'all better get on it before it gets exclusive, because I promise you, once the offers start flowing in, you're not going to be able to just call us up and be like, yo, can you help me out? Nah.
We cut music, edit music. We're the sound guys. We also choreographed a lot of pieces for the joint. And we're kind of like the equivalent of the the soup dude from Seinfeld. Like,
No soup. The soup
no,
Nazi.
no soup for you, yo.
Okay.
It's like
yeah.
that. But it's our studio's 3-year anniversary,
Wow.
3
Congratulations.
years.
as well as Arts Out Loud, I believe. Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
3-3.
So it's a lot going on. We have featured AOL artists as well as all of our teams competing, excuse me, all our teams performing.
I mean, we got to compete against ourselves because we're at the top.
Nah.
That's what I say.
It's great. Tribe is performing. Bila Elite, which is our competition team, they're performing. Bila Core, which is our young women's team, they're performing. Anybody else? The Brinks fam is performing.
Brinks.
The
Manchurian.
wonderful. It is being hosted by Marquita Bianca and the illustrious Terrell K. Mercer.
Oh,
TK.
Ooh, clutches pearls.
AKA Waffles
Waffles.
Waffles.
in the house. People think he's chocolate milk because people are racist.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
are.
I
That's-
know I did. And then also we have a performance by the one and only George. Don't call me Jorge Mendes.
Rip your
I'm
soul.
not the only person performing. Am
Rip
I?
your soul
Oh,
out your
no,
body.
No,
We
you
have Parks and Rec is performing.
Oh, that's right.
Ooh,
Parks.
man,
Oh, I'm
that's
so
right.
excited to
Yo,
see
So
this
it.
live.
lineup is so crazy.
India Downey's
India
gonna have
Downey.
her artwork.
India
up
Downey
there.
will have her artwork. She'll be displaying her artwork. And Magic, is it Majestic? Majestic for Parish.
Oh, word.
He will. I asked him to come through. I asked this dude to come through to show his artwork, and he's like, "Yo, can I paint live during the show?"
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he was.
That's
I mean,
what
So I'm
yeah,
like,
that's
"Yo,
crazy.
Do that.
That's
I mean,
dope.
just the way you said his name, it sounded like a strip club. The whole strip
Majestic.
club was about to be there.
I thought it was
It-
Parish
that
Majestic.
Majik.
Yeah,
I'm like,
Paris
man, there about to be some
Majestic.
strippers in here.
Paris
Now coming to the
Majestic.
stage, Majestic. Grace.
Majik with live painting.
Yeah.
Wow, these strippers paint too.
That's
Jeez,
amazing.
That's
They
what
are
the call is for.
they are great. Never judge a book by its cover.
But George will be opening Tribe's opening piece,
Ooh,
and it was crazy.
Oh, hold up, Inga.
Inga, come on.
Please forgive me.
Ibiza.
Please
Woo.
forgive me. Ibiza will be in the
Oh my
building.
God.
If you don't know who Ibiza is, get on some form of something.
First of all,
iTunes.
before you get on anything, get from under that rock you're under.
You know what I'm saying?
Then get on something. You can borrow. Maybe you need to do that too.
Yeah.
You can borrow my computer. Where the laptop at?
Laptop. But
I'm gonna get it.
But
So it sounds like a really dope show, a dope lineup.
Oh, it's gonna
Yeah.
be crazy. See, we asked George to open our piece, and without thinking that George is George, so now our piece has to be good enough. So we added extra practices this week, so we
You
don't
guys.
suck.
This week. But listen, we listen.
You really did that?
You rip
Yeah.
souls.
So they're practicing right this instant.
You rip souls out of
really
bodies. We don't want to be performing alongside of you and get our souls ripped out either.
Like
don't
George,
want that.
George will rip his own soul out of his body during the poetry reading. What makes you think he cares about yours?
Whatever is necessary. Whatever is
I don't
necessary.
even know what to say. You asked me to look up Gleep if I didn't know what it was, and I don't.
Oh
so I
my
did that. This is totally horrible segue.
Can't wait. I can't wait.
UrbanDictionary.com.
Oh, and you went there.
Whoa, Urban
Bleep.
Dictionary?
When you take a dump in the bathtub, then roll around in it, that gleeper didn't wash off well enough.
Wait,
So these are people? You
Wait.
call them gleepers?
Wait, I didn't.
No, like there's a person who does this is called a gleeper.
No, that's not what we're talking about. At all.
That's not what you're talking about, because that's what
No.
it's
Covered in
no.
glee.
Gleep.
We're talking about,
Noun.
We're talking about Gleep from the Herculoids.
Yeah.
Oh, because I looked it up on Urban Dictionary. Said that gleeper
No.
didn't wash off well enough. He had a
Never.
little poop
Oh,
stain
man.
on his hair.
Never go to Urban
Some-
Dictionary.
I found out he was
He
a
had
gleeper.
a little poop stain on. That sounds like a kid did that.
Well,
We're-
because
we've been-
they use it in a sentence so that you can get a good feel for
In
it.
that
I was a
context,
gleeper
we've
in
been
my
talking
youth.
About pooping on people this entire show.
Hey, Lisa, listen.
In the
You
bathtub.
tried to poop on yourself earlier. You think about that.
No, you
It
told me
also-
not to gleep on myself.
It also can stand for
That's
graphite low energy experiment pile,
I like the
which was a
graphite.
long-lived experimental nuclear reactor in Oxfordshire, England.
Graphite low energy experimental pile.
That also sounds like poop.
Piling on
Yeah.
people.
George, that's Gleep right there. That's
That's
Gleep.
Gleep.
This is Gleep, George. This is.
It can also be it's
not
Yiddish
heavy.
for a pejorative old man.
That's funny. That's hilarious.
That is
That is
absolutely,
funny.
I love
That
it.
is funny.
Native Son has a great story.
And for whatever reason, these things are called gleeps.
That's Gleep.
That's
Yeah.
it? This is what you're talking about?
That's
That's
Gleep.
gleep. That is gleep.
And he makes squishing sounds. So that's
Well, that makes a lot of sense,
Yeah.
given the definition.
yeah. The Urban Dictionary definition of gleep.
Hey,
is
look,
not
don't
one
get
we'll be
listen.
revisiting.
I can't believe
Don't be
that
out
that-
here get yourself
Yeah.
gleeped on. You gotta
Never
be
go
careful.
to the Urban Dictionary to find out what Sausage Kings means.
I mean, even now, gleeping, you can't do that.
No.
No,
That
I
first-
wish I had never looked
They've
it up.
ruined everything.
First definition
I've-
was intense.
That was remarkably disturbing.
It was. I gotta wash up after that one.
Yeah, I gotta. What do you call them? A cowboy bath?
Cowboy
Gotta
bath.
get in a cowboy bath for that
It's
one.
a cowboy
When you
bath.
take a bath in the sink, it's a cowboy
I used,
bath.
yeah.
Is that?
How is that possible?
It doesn't sound like I want to
You
do
don't
that
physically
after
get
that.
in the tub. You just kind of like
Oh.
splash and. Kinda,
You know what? I've heard it called bird bath.
I heard that.
it called
Nah, I've heard that.
I heard horse bath.
That cowboy bath.
I never heard cowboy.
That is creative.
Cowboy bath, yo. Hit the saloon, wipe it down real quick,
Hit the saloon.
and be like, yo, let me
man.
get a shot of rye. Is that what they were drinking then? Rye?
Yo, rye will kill you, but
it
you gonna
rye?
get turned real
Is
quick.
it right, Greg?
No, rye is it's a kind of bourbon, if I'm not mistaken, made from rye as opposed to
let's see what Urban Dictionary says about.
Oh
rye.
boy,
That's our new go-to. Urban Dictionary.
Yo, Urban Dictionary is a setup. Nothing on there is not sexually like. Oh, it's terrible.
Never mind, they got words in there that like gleep. I would have never in a million years.
know.
Yeah, you gotta hesitate now before you say gleep.
Yeah, like,
Gleep is
pause.
done for me.
Like, don't get yourself gleep.
Mm.
I can't do it.
I'm done with Gleep.
Yeah, gleep. George officially killed gleep.
Ruined our
My
childhood.
apologies.
An era has died so young.
I wonder if the people who named it knew that and did it on some sneak shit.
You
Urban,
know what?
Urban Dictionary is like new. Those are like new.
Fairly.
But how much you want to bet they did though?
But the words might not be.
But I mean, but that's Hercules. Like
I got a
70s.
feeling like bathing in your poo is probably not a new thing.
in Europe.
I don't even know if I want to continue this conversation.
You know what, Jean-Claude? I said now it's my own poo. We
Got
shall
the-
call it gleep.
To
Yo,
poop in the tub and then
Terrell
roll,
just went
my bad.
somewhere completely
And then roll around it. It's like, why are we?
There's a world, and
No, what
Terrell
happened?
went to
See,
it.
but the thing is, this apparently has happened enough times where it's been named.
Right.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
it's
This wasn't
in
a
the
one-time
urban-
occurrence.
It's in the Urban Dictionary
Yeah,
too.
if it happened once, it would have been like, did you hear about that dude that took a shit in the tub and rolled around? Now did you hear about that guy that was gleeping?
Yo,
But
hey,
then
yo,
again,
hey, yo,
it's a
you,
thing.
Just
you
like
a
in every
gleeper?
thing.
You a
Every school has a Banana-Rama, but don't know who they are.
What?
What?
Hold on, you gotta explain that.
Thank you.
Banana-Rama?
Yeah, the three of us
Don't-
are all
don't
like,
skate past
huh?
that.
Hold on,
Your school-
school banana rama? Come on, come on. what
Okay,
you talking
you
about?
remember the group name Banana-Rama?
Yeah.
Okay, well, my school had a girl that they called Banana-Rama. And I was like, why y'all call her Banana-Rama?
Wait a minute.
Because she took a banana and rammed her.
Oh my!
That is so petty.
Whoa.
You a banana rama?
I kind of saw it coming.
But no, she literally really did it. Like, she really became Banana-Rama.
So every school has a banana wrapper.
But
Yes.
believe it or not, now that I think about it,
They out here making pickles out of cucumbers.
yo, my schools had banana ramas.
I'm sure my school did.
Yeah,
I have
know,
literally never heard the term Banana-Rama until now.
heard
I mean, I've never heard it till now, but now that I think
I've learned a
about
lot tonight. Banana-Rama, Gleep. My
Bananarama,
vocabulary is
weren't they
expanding.
like huge costume characters?
They were a girl band.
Oh, whoops.
I've
Yeah.
never heard of the band either.
banana rama.
That's rough.
I mean, that
Oh,
just the name
Justin
of
just
the,
pulled up an album cover.
Justin
Bruh.
was good for that.
Cruel Summer was the
Yeah,
name
that
of
was
their
the
album.
song. Cruel Summer.
Oh,
I'm
for
pretty
real?
sure it was a cruel
That was
summer.
Bananarama?
my.
That was Banana-Rama.
It depends how
no.
cold the banana was.
You went, yo.
Yeah, because bananas ain't sturdy.
Yogurt.
Nah, man, unless they're like not ripe, and then I'm pretty sure it's uncomfortable.
No, eventually uncomfortable.
Okay, good point.
Yeah, it just ends up happening later.
Eventually uncomfortable.
Eventually, that's my new word right now. It's eventually.
Eventually.
Allegedly and eventually.
Allegedly, I got from Phil. Remember Phil? The graffiti artist.
Oh, yo, yeah. Shout out to my man's name, yo. He's out in California right now,
Word.
working with a graphic design company.
Oh, wow.
Living the
See,
life.
kids, you can do illegal things and get you a real job.
You know what I'm saying? That's it, yo. Just don't say your real name anywhere, and you can still do it.
Phil, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Or acquitted.
Quit is a good one.
That's
Shout out to
OJ's word.
Acquitted.
That's why you my man.
You're such a lady killer.
Yeah.
Acquitted.
Okay. Now let's back to what y'all.
Wait, where are we going now?
Yeah. So are there tickets still left for the event?
I believe today was the last day, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh.
What's today? Thursday?
Thursday.
Yeah.
Today might have been the last day, but Terrell is on his messenger, which means that maybe
Listen,
for
man.
our very special
Y'all shouldn't have waited so long. I don't think there's any more room. I really don't.
See, people think that I'm joking. We've been here 3 times.
The house was
4.
packed last year. Last year was the first year that I was actually
But
lucky
even-
enough to be a part of it.
But see,
and the house was packed.
Even when we had the one in October for just the kids performing,
Yeah.
that was standing room only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, people, we're not exaggerating this.
We're all
They
out-
people
we're
are
all
tripping
out
out.
Like
here in the
300
streets
people?
slanging tickets.
Tripping
There's
out.
at least
out here,
300
man.
people
It
in
was
there.
hot in there. People was drinking cucumber water.
It was. Shout out to Marquita.
Staying hydrated. Boy.
Cucumber
But yeah,
water.
we all of our
Is
teams.
that anything like Gleep water?
Oh.
The cucumber just floating
Listen,
around.
you give me enough time, I'll make it happen for you.
That reminds me of
That's what you want. We got to get the people what they want out here.
not homie the clown, yo. Who was the bum that Damon Wayans played on In Living Color, yo?
I don't know. Was it Anton?
Yeah.
Anton? Or
Yo.
Antoine?
No.
when you said Gleep Juice and you said it reminded me
pickle?
of the pickle in the
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
He always had one
What was that
pickle.
character's name?
It was either Antoine or Anton.
Antoine?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was the dude from Men on Film, Twan. Don't get mad, Twan.
Blaine and Twan.
Blaine and Twan. So it was Antoine. All right.
It's just like the way he said it, you
Hold on.
never really know. Because he kept
Yeah,
his mouth open.
He used the same voice he used for the Mo Money skit.
Oh,
It's
that's
the same
right.
voice he would use.
We got stuck. Yo, Blank Man is one of the greatest movies of our time.
Ever.
Yo.
J5, what's happening?
Handyman?
Oh,
The
wait,
Handyman skits? The what?
Anton Jackson, that was his name.
the Mo Money skit? Oh, you talking about the
Anton
Did you just get that from over here? You just got that from over here again? Yeah, your man's is clutch.
yeah.
You are the
Anton.
more clutch than Kobe Bryant out here right now.
Blink man. Kobe isn't even clutch out there right now. He's retired.
I mean, he's more clutch than Kobe Bryant in his prime. Like
Yeah, this is
Okay.
true.
money shot right
Mark-
now.
All right, so what's the official word on
Marquita
tickets?
says post-sale tickets can be bought online.
Yes.
Where can they go online to purchase these?
Battlefusion.com.
Double,
Hey,
double,
listen. Hey, listen. If you getting post sale tickets, there's 2 things going to happen to you. Number 1, you drop. Number 2, you got to drink Gleep water before you drink
Jesus.
cucumber water.
I'm
not
sure
playing with you.
There's E. coli involved in that.
We can make
That's
it. We can make it work.
Mouth sores.
I put it in the Keurig, boil it up. Keurig Gleep water.
I'm not
That's
drinking
like
coffee tomorrow.
that's like eating frozen Egyptian strawberries.
That sounds luxurious.
No,
Frozen Egyptian strawberries?
You don't.
not Egyptian strawberries. Just think about strawberries from Egypt.
I don't like that.
What recently happened in Tropical Smoothie?
Oh,
Oh,
shit. Yeah.
because that's what happened to them.
That's why you should go to the juice bar, B, and stop
Shouts
playing,
out,
yo.
shouts out to the juice bar. They always gonna have you.
Don't
They
be
gonna
in tropical smoothie, yo.
they gonna keep
give
you right.
the runs every time.
Juice
they
bar
gonna give you the
juices.
runs, the
Juice
breaks.
bar juices.
And you know, it's funny how
All the
speaking of juice bar
breaks.
juices, how things kind of tend to come full circle. The gentleman who owns Juice Bar Juices, Jody,
Yes.
I knew Jody way back in the day, back when Rough Riders first released their very first compilation.
Yes.
The
Because
fact
I
that
was
you
on
said
his
Rough
street
Riders.
team. Like he had some kind of connections with Rough Riders back then, and I was on the street team. I was the head of the street team. out here. It was like
Lamborghini
5 of us.
Jody.
And we would like hang the posters and pass out snippet tapes all over the place. Yeah, so like when I saw him at Bile Fusion, I was like, oh shit. Like I'll never forget how I met him because he straight fucking how can I put it? He judged me based on how I looked. On everything I will never forget. I get out of my car and I go to the ATM and I'm wearing like a back then it was like everybody had a dope ass leather jacket with a big ass patch on the back of something on the back, right?
Right.
Wow, you were
Had
rich.
that the army hat turned to the side, the Timberlands, the whole nine. It's the 90s.
Selling.
So I go to the ATM and I come back and this random dude, Jody, walks up to my car. I'm just now leaving the ATM. It's a strange man approaching me. I'm
Right.
about to peel out on him or punch him in the face because I don't know what's about to happen. But the first thing he said, yo, let me ask you a question. Do you rap? And I was like, as a matter of fact, I do. But how'd you know that?
You
He's
look
like,
like
you
a
just look
rapper.
like you rap. You look like a rapper
look
on
like a
everything I love.
rapper.
So he
Spit
was
some
trying to start a
bars.
label at the time. So he bought this big ass fucking RV, converted it into like a tour bus, put a studio in the back. We were supposed to,
That's
yeah.
Jody. That is
Always,
Jody.
Jody has always had a hustle. It's good to like,
Always.
good to
Jody-
see like you
Jody
know
makes
the juice
moves.
bars are like moving and
Yo,
working for him.
Jody is a massive inspiration to all of us because I'll never forget this. We left class. It was a Tuesday. It was a Thunderdome Tuesday
Thunderdome.
where me and Norman and Marquita taught back to back to back. We walk out of the studio and there's a trailer at the end of the parking lot. This dude unloads a Lamborghini into the parking lot, and we're like, "Yo, who's that for?" Jody's like, "Is my car here?" From that moment forward, we're like,
Then we
they
started
dropped
singing.
a Lamborghini off
At your spot.
at your job in front of Kroger, B.
Kroger.
They dropped a brand new Lambo off at Kroger. And I was like, yo, I don't know how hard that man's working, yo, but I need to work that hard.
I got to
Yeah.
be on that level.
He's always had a
Lamborghini
grind.
Jody.
Always has a grind.
Always,
Always. Shout out to Jody.
Yeah, man.
Shouts out.
I don't know Jody, so yeah, shout out to Jody.
How do you not know Jody?
He
I'm not
owns
there
the
now.
juice bar. Oh,
If you say his name 3 times, he'll show up.
Jody.
You sound like a scene from Baby Boy.
Jody!
That's another. I've never seen that movie.
What?
I refuse
You
to
ain't
watch
seen Ving Rhames at the kangaroo hop?
it. I refuse to watch it.
I ain't never seen Baby Boy neither.
Come on, y'all. Just make an exception.
No.
Yo,
You gotta
it's
see
one
that.
of those movies where it's like you watch it and you're like, man, this ain't gonna be whack. Yo, it's a chick flick because
Nah.
Tyrese is in it, and then it ended up being a halfway decent movie.
Nah, I ain't even think. I don't even consider it.
Taraji P.
I never really liked Tyrese as an actor.
Yeah, no. Except Ejectocito, cuz. Was it Too Fast, Too Furious?
Yo, man, and that Tyrese was the angriest person alive in Fast and Furious.
I've never seen those movies past the second one. I've only seen the first 2. I've never seen. There's like 7 of them, right?
Think
Yeah.
it's
I
8.
lost count.
They're making 8.
Oh.
Paul Walker's still showing up in them.
How does that
Too soon?
happen?
He has a brother that looks just like him.
They're
Jim
using
Walker.
a hologram like they did with the Tupac joint.
Oh
No,
man,
they did. They
that
put,
freaked
they
me
put
out.
his brother in, and they just like made tweaks to his face.
That's
At
insane.
least they didn't do.
Oh, that's like
they-
create a player on like
Well,
NBA 2K or
Well,
something.
that was
isn't it?
just to like
Yeah.
finish the last movie
Yeah. At least they didn't do like they did the Bruce Lee movie,
with the mirrors.
where the guy was supposed to have been Bruce Lee, like the movie that Bruce didn't finish.
The Game of Death.
Yeah, that was sad.
Son, they would put a
But they didn't
mirror-
have the technology that they have
Oh,
now.
no.
to
They
pull it
shouldn't
off.
even have tried it.
No, they
I
would put
suppose-
a
well, yeah.
mirror on the dude's face and like have somebody stand across from him with a picture of Bruce Lee.
Yeah, it was literally that
serious.
bad.
This is
It
dead
was
I
that
know.
bad.
That is Poe.
You never saw
Oh
that?
no!
Oh my
It's on
god!
Oh,
You
I gotta go
literally
see it.
You literally see like the square cutout of the
Yeah.
picture.
I gotta go see it.
It's that bad.
I'm picturing
It's
it right
bad,
now
yo.
in my mind.
They were like, "Yo, we got to get this done at all costs."
And then you could just see like this
They
cutout
should've just
picture.
taped
Even the
picture of
fight
Bruce Lee's
scene-
face to his face.
And then
the
dramatic
fight scene
music.
was that bad.
Huh.
The fight scenes were so horrible. Like you could tell the dude went, "Whoa!" I'm like, "That? What is
That
that?"
ain't Bruce.
Whoa!
You lying, man? That ain't Bruce.
Then they try to say Bruce Lee was his brother.
With Game of Death.
Oh
No.
It was Bruce Lee with an L-I.
Yeah, it was Bruce. There was a Bruce Lee and a Bruce Lee. They tried to say they were Bruce Lee's brothers.
Oh man,
that whole thing was a Bruce lie.
Yeah, Bruce Lee.
that is
How dare you.
makeshift.
Total other random fact. Did you notice that DMX and Ving Rhames make the same amount of homosexual references in either their movies and or their music? They're both suspect things. And they're both big, wall black dudes
Oh my dogs.
who have done movies.
I mean, okay. Immediately when you say that, the Ving Rhames Pulp Fiction scenes comes to mind.
Right, there's that one.
Okay.
And then there's Holiday Heart where you played a transvestite.
I've never seen that.
And then there was I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry where you played a gay fireman.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember that.
And then in Baby Boy, I think he threatened sodomy on Tyrese, if I'm not mistaken. And then DMX just don't care. But then again, cocaine's a hell of a drug. So what are you gonna do?
What?
You know, I heard. I don't know how much truth there is to this rumor that Jay-Z just signed him and has him in rehab currently.
But he's not on drugs right now.
Yeah, no. So
That's
he
what I
might not be
found
as
interesting. That's not. They some putting him in rehab. I'm like he's clean now. So I'm like,
good. He put out a track probably about 2 months ago, and it was fire. Like,
Yeah, I heard Jay signed him, and he's trying to like get him right.
That would be crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd like
I
to
wanna see
hear a
that. I wanna
cleaned
hear
up X again.
Yeah.
Last thing I heard X do was when he was singing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer at the radio station.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
And while it was dope, I don't think he realized that
They were
that person was
clowning
they were trolling him. Yeah, they were clowning him. It was dope as fuck, and I love that version. But
You
The Reading
getting
Rainbow joint
clown.
is equally
That
That's
reading, oh my
hilarious.
god, the reading rainbow.
Come
is
on!
the best. You think this is a game?
butterfly in the sky.
What?
that shit was hilarious.
Nigga. My nigga.
My nigga,
Read up, Buck.
suck my dick.
Yeah, that shit was so funny.
Out of nowhere, I was listening. I was watching that.
I need to know who's
Hold on.
responsible for making that version.
I
to
was
this
watching that, and when that happened, I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yo, put it in third.
It came out of nowhere, like Jesus,
Way too early.
Jesus Christ.
That was like 20 minutes of Netflix and chill, yo. Hold
shit.
that.
Whoever
my
clipped that
gosh.
and put that shit together was genius.
Yeah, they're a genius.
Them and the dudes who did the Luke Cage Family Matters joint.
Oh,
That one is
I have
like
not seen
that's like an
that.
instant
you
classic.
have got
It
to
is.
see that.
Have you watched any of Luke Cage yet?
No, not yet.
Okay. I'm pacing
Sweet
myself.
Christmas.
I'm on about episode 5 or 6 somewhere, but I didn't want to binge it and then be pissed off for a whole
Yeah,
year.
you would be.
You know what I mean?
binged-
So I've been pacing
Yeah,
myself.
I binged it. I made that mistake.
I think we
Yeah.
binged the last 3 episodes because of the hurricane.
Listen,
well, that
let me
makes
tell you
sense.
something, man. I can't
I've
wait.
been Stranger Things like three or four times
Oh,
already.
absolutely.
Like I
Absolutely.
think I've watched that thing straight through at least 4 times.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't seen it yet. I need to
What?
watch
It's
it.
amazing.
I haven't. I'm sorry.
It's
I haven't
amazing.
seen it.
Yo,
Stranger
it's
Things
great.
is
Black Mirror cat. And Black Mirror coming out this
Black Mirror. I just got onto that and I binged that. I binged that because
What
it's
is
so
that?
short. It's an anthology series on Netflix where every episode is a standalone story. They very much deal with like technophobia and the fear of what our society will become to because of how we have technology. Some very interesting.
It's like a Twilight Zone.
Oh, word.
Yeah, but it's really disturbing.
It's yo.
Like that first episode with the British Prime Minister, bro. Like, bruh, like the fuck is happening? Like I was watching this shit the whole time. Like, nah, wait, what? Oh,
That's crazy.
I'm like turning the TV sideways.
The
and
whole
shit. Like,
TV. Get up.
I don't understand.
Get up and stand in the middle of. George, what the hell are you doing? Put the TV
I don't
down.
understand.
Like, it's few and far between. So I'm like, yo, what a.
But yeah, but Stranger Things is definitely worth it.
Yeah.
Shout out to Charlie Rasputin, man, and Carrie Ann over at Work Release. They've thrown 2 Stranger Things themed
Yeah.
parties.
They
Oh, word.
So they threw the first. It was called the Upside Down. They had 2 bands play, and then they had the room set up like this with the lights. They had the living room set up so you can take pictures in the living room. They had posters of Will all over the place. They sold waffles. Waffle Tina came through, had a waffle stand, you know, because of 11.
Yeah.
You know, shout out to 11. And it was
shout out to imaginary
so,
people.
you know what I'm saying?
11.
And then they did a party here. They did one in Richmond. They did one in Baltimore. They did one at UVA. And then I just karate chopped the shit out of something. And then they did another one this Saturday. And they've all been huge. And as far as theme parties go, like I'm gonna say that was the best one ever.
Yeah. Shout out to Work Release. So we are at the bottom of our show. It has gone by entirely too quickly, even without the
Way
breaks.
too quick.
But I want to thank you both again for coming out.
Man, thank
I will
you.
see you both on Saturday.
Yeah.
I'm very much
Hey, real
looking
quick,
forward
tell
to it.
people how to find out more about you guys, real quick.
Yeah. Where can they find you on social media?
Black Planet.
Yeah, man. Listen. Hey, listen. My name on Black Planet is Succulent Milk Chocolate. But you got to spell succulent
Mine
with
is-
3 C's.
Mine is Spare the Rod 47.
I was
Spare the rod.
I'm Beige 69.
Yeah, there it is.
Beige.
There was one that was like throw that ass in a prayer circle.
Throw that ass in a prayer circle.
Oh my gosh.
That gives a whole new meaning to laying of hands.
Hey, you sit down and you think about that for a
Think
while.
about that. But Gorilla Will, Guerilla Will.
If you think it's G-O, you're racist.
Yeah, for real. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all three of those. Catering company information will be out soon. Lone Wolf Catering,
Nice.
look out for that. Got a mixtape dropping.
Hot fire.
I let Native Son do all the rapping, yo. Like I live
Beats
vicariously
hot
through my man.
fire.
Native Son, who will be a guest on the show November 5th. We've locked it and we've said it on the air. You can't back out now. All right.
Oh, yeah,
Moving on. Norman, where can they find you?
Yeah, man. So you can look me up, Norman Cunningham, or
think you made the third.
BRNX on Facebook, on Instagram, BRINXX85. Holler at your boy, or you can see me in these streets. You're going to get dropped first, and then we can become friends.
And if you would like to pick up tickets for that event on Saturday, it is bylafusion.com.
Fusion with a Z.
Hey, you got to go.
with
You got to go to that super quick, man. We
quick.
literally have like no space left.
Word.
And we have no time left.
Yeah, ladies
that
and
being
gentlemen,
said-
that's right. As always, remember, we do what we do.
Because we includes you.
P.S.
Good night.
Peace.